Zoom party today at 11:12. Or my time, 12:12, your time, right? I mean, when I showed me the time, I'm like, only Gina, Miss Mathematician, would have a party starting at that exact time. And I've met Kimberly, and I know Christina, and I know my Angie. Hey guys, old friends. And oh, it just went away. Oh my God. No. Oh my God.
Did you lose all of us?
I did, but thank God I got you. That's my biggest fear, is to screw up the technology. But I don't know how I did it, but I'm just not going to touch it. I'll just leave. I was going to try to see more squares. Gallery.
Yes.
Okay, and I can see you all. But Stephanie, tell me who you are.
I'm an adoptee.
Welcome.
I'm in Dawn's area.
Welcome. We love Dawn.
Oh.
And Christina and Angie, we go way back. So I've met Cheyenne, and so that's us, right? Is this group something you've earned? I don't really know. What is this? Or just you get on if you want to? Yes? Oh, well, I'm glad you want to. And how often do you do it?
Weekly.
Once a week. It's on Wednesdays at 12 or whatever. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I was just talking to Jenny, so I'll repeat a little bit what we talked about. And actually, anything you guys want to ask me, I could talk for 33 hours or maybe 33 days, just so you know. And I have missed the audience, FYI. It's been almost 18 months since I became an emeritus. So at first, I really didn't do anything, and Dean was so happy. I'm crazy in love with my husband. If you don't know, I was married for 30-something years. Never unhappy. It was just always unhealthy. I'm not going to go into that, but I will tell you just how unhealthy it was. I couldn't even invite my mother to the wedding. Anyone, no one could come. And I was such a fragile, needed to be loved, early 20s. I got married in 79. So I was 23 years old. And he just said, well, I don't know if I'm going to go through this, so I wouldn't want to be embarrassed. And so we'll just not invite anybody. And I said, well, delay is not denial. We'll just reschedule. See, I was learning the tentative booking approach way before I joined Mary Kay. I mean, think about it, but just think how positive that is. A little girl that just wanted to be loved. No proposal, no wedding ring, anyway, whatever. So when I tell you it was unhealthy, it was always unhealthy. But I was so unhealthy, I thought that was good because of my past, but whatever, for a different day. But just to give you a little insight, but I left, praise Jesus, about 10 years ago. My kids were grown. And then 2 years later, I met Dean, and then we dated 5 years, and I married him 2 years ago. So I'm the happiest person in the whole wide world. And I do believe strongly in affirmations. And I believe that my good Father knew what I wanted. And he gives us the desires of our heart when our motives are pure. And I just wanted to be loved with all my heart. I'd really never been, no big deal. And so I did my affirmations about 1 mile from leaving my house. So well, I guess we can start our class today with just the power of your words. And you speak it before you believe it. That's something else y'all need to realize. And you're not lying. It's called an affirmation. It's affirming as if you believed it, but you don't. But you say it like you do. Okay. And that started with, well, it didn't start. I've done it my whole life. I just really didn't know what it was called. And I've done my power pose my whole life, but I didn't know what it was till I watched a TED Talk. And some girl with a doctorate from Harvard did a whole class on it. I'm like, well, I've been doing that since I was a little girl. Now she gets paid all this money. Oh my God. And then, grit. I've always said my whole life, it's God's grace and our grit. He gives us free will. Where do you get your grit? I don't really know. I can only give you my life experiences of how grit was developed in me. But if you go to TED Talk and you watch the 6-minute Angela Duckworth little talk on grit, it's very enlightening. She was a teacher, then she became a psychologist, and now she's paid a ton of money to go around and teach grit. Oh my God. And she actually got hired by West Point to come in and interview the freshmen, because they don't want to waste their time educating these kids that are going to quit. And her whole thing is it nurture or nature? Are you born with it or is it developed? And guess what? She discovered what she has the scientific proof. It's developed. So if you don't really have it, or you don't think you do, then you can make a decision to start developing it. And then how you develop grit is like Gina taught me. I used to say we fell forward to success, but Gina says we figure it out forward to success. You have to be willing to risk being a fool. You have to be willing to take the lows with the highs. You know, we all love the victory lap, but how do you handle the disappointment? And so when we were starting, I called Jenny early because I was afraid I'd mess up the technology. And she said, well, you know, she loves her business and look how beautiful she is and her lighting's perfect and she's got a background. I already didn't like her. And then she said, you know, life is great. She's got 2 boys in baseball. Baseball, yeah, 9 and 11 or something like that. And I said, I know what that's like because I raised 3 boys. Matthew was a football player and track. He ran track. He was really good at track. Well, that's every Saturday. He was the first, whatever the first thing is that you run track. He's 42, so I don't remember. It's been too long ago. And then the last event, I think the last was a 1,600-meter hurdle. If you ever do track meets, they have the same schedule. So I had to be there before daylight and I couldn't leave till dark. And your kid runs maybe, it's his whole part of it is maybe 15 minutes because the track is fast. But anyway, and then Chance was a really great basketball player, ended up playing Division I basketball in college. And then my youngest son was 6'5" and didn't do any sports. He was completely a computer guy. He got his degree on IT. So I had my first son in my early 20s and my last son, I was almost 40. So I had 3 decades of boys and sports and life and dinner and an unhealthy marriage. Oh my God. But I still figured it out, Jenny, to be able to spin the plates, to work on my faith walk constantly because, oh my word, the hole in my heart had to be filled with the Lord. Okay. I tried to fill it with everything else, but that didn't work. And then I was responsible for everything, 100%, the house, the groceries, the cooking, the cleaning, the everything. Okay. Zero. Got zero support. That's okay. I got this. You see me victory pose. I got this. Single moms do it all the time. I can do it too. And so, I was sharing with her how I worked it out to do what you do, whether it's a full-time job or your family or whatever. And I told her when you have sports, this may only apply to her, but it's the same psychology, okay? I would take gifts. So write down, if you're taking notes, gifts. And your homework is to go to your concordance in your Bible or Google it or look on your Bible app, but I just always looked in the back of my Bible and had a concordance. And if you start reading every scripture on gifts, you're going to be so excited that you're going to be bearing gifts because it tells you that a gift will usher you into the presence of the King. The receiver, they open their arms for gifts. And I do it. I'm retired and I still always do it. I take food now because I'm loving to cook now because I'm retired. And y'all, I fed my family every day at 5 o'clock, every single day, 5 o'clock, 5:00, because if it was 5:05, my husband would go to town and eat in a restaurant because I didn't do my job. Are you kidding me? So I got dinner on the table ready every day. Okay. But I never mixed 2 ingredients. Okay. I broiled the meat, steamed the vegetable, and I made a starch. But I never made macaroni and cheese. I never mixed any ingredients. That was very healthy, by the way, because all that mixing usually isn't the healthy part. So, and we had the same exact food. Y'all, some of you heard me teach on it. Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays for 15 years. I went to my meeting on Monday night and I grocery shopped after the meeting because I'm higher than a Betsy bug because I'm so excited like being with y'all. I was sweating. I started pouring sweat just talking to Jenny after 41 years because I love a frapping audience, okay? And so I would go to the grocery store because I was high as a kite and I couldn't go home. And I would book everybody in the grocery store. And typically they were nurses getting off work or people that are in the grocery store at 10 o'clock at night are probably free the next morning, right? And so I'd get a lot of daytime bookings. And I even learned to do, now grocery stores are different, but back then you would walk in, it was fruits and vegetables. And then it was like a flow to the grocery store. Everybody went the same way. Well, now it's not like that, but I would start over here and go backwards because I could meet the person that was fixing to leave. And if I booked somebody in green beans, I didn't want to see her on every aisle when she saw me talking to the lady buying diapers. Because, and you with me? So I even had a psychology to that. And I would just pay attention, think 360, care enough to be aware. It takes a lot of energy. It's not natural. If you're waiting till you feel like it, it ain't gonna ever happen. But that's why you put the presents in your purse. And I've never sold a hand cream from a sample. That's not the goal. It's the olive branch. It's cracking the door open to see if she wants you to come in a little closer. And I always had 2 hand creams. I like, well, I whatever I had. Sometimes it was those color cards, or I'd be out of hand cream. It didn't matter what it was, but I needed to give people something to open the conversation. I didn't have to. Over the years, I could do it without the gift, but in the beginning, I couldn't. Okay. And so it was like the shield of protection. If they said no to the gift, it didn't bother me. Now I've learned to be unoffendable. Of the spirit of the flesh, no one is unoffendable. But today, Cindy Williams cannot be embarrassed. You can only embarrass yourself. You can't really disappoint me. I choose to not be disappointed. I just say, forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. Of the spirit, all things are possible. But it probably will take some years of figuring it out forward to learn that hurting people hurt. And maybe they're being resistant to me. I told Jenny, sometimes I'll meet somebody, they say, oh no, not Mary Kay. I met a Mary Kay lady, she drove me crazy. I say, well, I've been in 40 years. I met a bunch of Mary Kay ladies that drove me crazy. Aren't you glad you met me? My name's Cindy Williams, give me a chance. I come back with them, baby. You cannot shut me down. I've got a response. I'm confident, but never cocky. Do you see the difference? I am attracting, but never attacking. I believe that I use Mary Kay to build people. I don't use people to build Mary Kay. And the world may see it differently, but however you see it is your truth. Hashtag your truth. Your perception is your reality. Be clear. And you can change it. In 21 days, you can create a new habit. And words have a life. Change your words and you'll change your world. When I pulled over on the side of the road 1 mile after I left my house, living in the same house for 30-something years, I got out of my car, my pink Cadillac. I looked up at the sky and I said, okay, God, I do not want to be alone. I knew when I left, I was going to find someone else. I didn't leave for someone else. Got it? I just knew because I was never going to open that door, but I knew I would find someone. I said, okay, God, I won't choose well. My background is too screwed up. I knew I wouldn't choose well. So I said, you got to find him for me. You have to bring him to me. And I have 5 imperatives, not suggestions. He has to love you. He has to have a relationship with our Heavenly Father. I don't really care what his religion is. I just want him to have a personal relationship with you. Number 2, he's got to be smart. Number 3, he's got to be ambitious, bound out of bed like a gazelle with goals and dreams. Love Mary Kay, love listening to the speakers. Love learning and growing into all God created us to be. Self-actualization. Number 4, he's got to be romantic. I want to be kissed all the time. I love kissing. I want to be kissed 400 times a day. I'll get a little oxygen tank to breathe. I'm okay with that. You got to be romantic. And number 5, the boy has to dance because Cindy Williams loves to dance. And if you've ever seen The Notebook, even if you don't know who you are, you can dance. And so I said, he has to dance. And then I drove off into the sunset. And 2 years later, Dean Piver showed up. But I didn't recognize him as the man of my dreams. That's a whole nother story. He chased me like a hound dog. But that's what he needed to do. If you're single or know people are, don't be so easy to catch. He was very attracted. Go look at animals. The doe runs away from the buck, okay? And so, and then, I don't know if you know this story, but I met him in December, didn't go out with him till March. And then July came around and he had a birthday party. I turned 60 in June and he knew Eileen Barlow. He has some friends. Anyway, he brought Stacy James in and surprised me with the birthday party on June the 26th. So Stacy met him, but still the vote was out. Everybody's protective. They don't really, they're protective of you. Who is this guy? So she said, you have to bring him to seminar. I said, I am not, absolutely not bringing him to seminar. I'm not bringing him to meet my people. I was married all those years. I didn't want to have that conversation with everybody. Who the heck is this guy? And I was number 3 for the first time. So I would get to speak on stage. Well, I don't mind speaking in front of you, but this guy doesn't even really know what I do. I was definitely not wanting him out there. Well, guess what she did? I said, absolutely not. She had brought him as her guest. She invited him. Oh my God. I was like, what are you? She said, I have to watch him watch you. Then I'll know. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So his first exposure to really what I did was being on the front row at seminar day 1. And I walk out as number 3 to give my speech. And he's like, that's my girlfriend. Oh my God. And then I was 3, Stacy was 2, and Carol Anton was number 1. It was the Ruby seminar back then. So I don't know how many years ago. I guess 5. I don't remember. Anyway. So then he had only come in for that. He was just there for that morning. He worked, he's busy. Then we go to lunch. The National sit in a special luncheon after the speeches. And he looked at me, he says, oh my God. He said, baby, you 3 women just motivated all those women in that audience. He said, I don't care what they're paying you, it ain't enough. He was mesmerized by it. He said, and he analyzed every person. Carol Anton had this written out verbatim, perfectly, highly educated, intense speech. And then Stacy, Stacy's just out there loving people and enrolling them in her stories. And then there was me, whatever. And so he said, you're all so different, but anyway, it was just magical. So that was part of he fit that number, whatever it was, 3. He loved to learn and grow. And he's still, like I had a hysterectomy December 1, and I thought I would feel good enough to go to leadership in January because I didn't want to miss it. And he'd never been to Nashville. I was not good. It was very hard on me. It's a whole nother story. But I missed leadership. And he was like, well, we're not missing seminar. I said, I know, Dina, we're not missing leadership in Fort Worth. So he loves it. And he listens intently and to every person. And he applies it to his own life and business. Y'all, Mary Kay is light. It's not, it has really nothing to do with the product. I mean, I dig the heck out of my product. If anybody's got Sunset, mail it to me. We don't make it anymore. And I love coffee and Sunset in this formula. I mean, all that other stuff is slicky to me, whatever. And so he just loves it. And I hope and pray you do too. And even like what, was it Kimberly? Yeah, said, I really just started because she needed me to be a red jacket. And then I got enrolled in these people and now I'm like addicted. Well, heck yeah. And then you use more product. And then you sell a little bit because you feel guilty if your friends aren't using it. People, they're wrinkling before your very eyes and you're just sitting there all smug with your products on your shelf. Shame on you, rather than feeling like you're attacking, you're attracting. Rather that you want to include them, not exclude them. Does that make sense? And I was telling Jenny, it's all in how you do it. It's how you do it. The same thing can happen to 2 people. One person, it wipes them out. It's their story, their drama for years and years. The other person, it makes them a man. And I give you a great example of that. One of my best friends, Eileen Barlow, she hosted my wedding here in Houston. Can't believe I live by her now. She has been in my unit since, oh my God. I met her when she was at UT Austin undergrad. Then she went to Harvard and to Harvard Law School and got a law degree, and her husband became a plastic surgeon and they live here. But anyway, it's a long story. But what was I going to say about Eileen? What was I talking about before I got distracted on? Somebody help me, bring me back. I can't read that. Cheyenne, I'm close
How
to
you
you.
introduce them to it is what you said.
Well,
It's
I
like
don't
you
remember.
feel guilty for not sharing with them, and it's all about how you introduce Mary Kay to them.
I don't remember how Eileen got in that conversation, but it's It's the way you do it. You enroll people and it's a learned skill. Please don't think it's nature. It's nurture, people. You hang around this group enough. Gina Beck, there's nobody better than Gina. Gina is a magnet for people, okay? But she also watched me, Mary. She learned from everybody because she wanted to get better. All of us. I would have rather eaten a green fuzzy worm than given somebody my business card when I was new in Mary Kay. I didn't want them to think I was talking to them just because I was trying to sell them something. I didn't want to be manipulative and all that bull crap. That's just all hogwash. The world will tell you that. Yes, I want to sell you some Mary Kay. Yes, I want to book you for a party. Yes, I want you to invite your friends. Yes, I believe that you can spend more money, but not buy better than Mary Kay. Yes, it's all I've used since I was 25 and all I use till I'll die. Thank God as an emeritus, do you know I get to buy my products at wholesale for the rest of my life and not pay shipping? I'm just telling you what, I'm a happy camper. I know. And every new product that comes out, they mail it to me for free. Are you kidding me? I'm like so happy. And so it's just shifting your attitude and it's realizing you're giving them a gift. You're the gift. You're the gift. The product's the gift, the time, the talent, the treasure you've invested to learn your products, to learn your business, to build your confidence through your competence. Your competence will build your confidence. Okay. And it's doing it poorly to do it better. That's just how you learn. That's how a kid learns. That's how you as an adult learn. We're just not willing many times to do it. I was talking to Robin Rowland. I'm starting a coaching course. And she said, well, Cindy, you can't teach what you do. Nobody can do it like you because she's very introverted and I'm very extroverted. And I said, well, yes, they can. Jackie taught me. I was like, of course I can share. If not, what have I done my whole life? What have I did my whole life to be pouring into people if it isn't going to make a difference? I completely memorized my entire flip chart before I held my first party. Memorized it because I was so afraid of it looking like a fool. I did my homework, you guys. It wasn't nature, it was nurture. And I wanted to please my director. That was part of, thank God, that's a little bit of who I am. My mom, I had a crazy childhood. My mom was married a whole bunch of times, all kind of alcoholism, all kind of abuse. But my mom loved her 3 girls. And I always wanted to give my mom a victory. So I made straight A's in school but it wasn't like my IQ probably isn't very high, but my ICANN is very high. I'll take ICANN over IQ any day. If you got both, praise God. Like if you're good looking and smart, well, that's a bonus. Some of us just got one or the other. Start mastering your skill. There's opening of a skincare class. Gina's masterful, but the way she do it may not be exactly like you do it. I memorized the Mary Kay way in the beginning, and then it evolved over time. I recorded everything I said. It's easy to do on a phone now. And I listened to it and I tweaked it and I would write it all out. I would write out my opening. I would write out my closing. I flashcarded myself on one side, the objection, and on the other side, how I would overcome it until they became my words, until it sounded natural. It was not natural. Does that give you hope? People look at me and say, oh, but it's so easy for you. I cried a million tears through this crazy growth journey of leadership in Mary Kay. And I still shed tears. I could cry right now for all God's bringing us to and through. And y'all know what's going on with Gina and Todd right now. I know what she wants me to do for you. What you can do for her is work. What you can do for her is give her some victories to celebrate. She knows we're praying for her. She knows we love her and Todd. OMG. And we can say, is there anything you need me to do? And I did say that. She's, yes, do my Zoom. I said, thank God I get to do something. I want to do something. But you on the team, and even you, the adoptee, they're watching what you do. You go rock out $1,000 week and show the world. And some people say to me, oh, but now things are different. People don't want to gather. After COVID, everything changed. If that's your truth, that's your truth. My truth is people need us more than ever. We were created for communion. We were born to break bread around a table and build relationship and trust. You just break open some lipstick and some moisturizer, people. It's the same thing. We are so needed now, but you've got to have the courage to communicate and build your influence to get them enrolled. It's building your influence, and that's learned. Words, body language, most of your communication is body language. That's why when you do it in person or a Zoom, I love seeing your faces. It's what do they say? 80%, only like 10 or 20% is the words. It's everything else about you. Okay. So I recommend you start in the morning. I take a shower in the morning. I took a shower last night at 10 o'clock, shaved my legs, put on lotion for deep fiber. And but I get in the shower every morning. I get him off to work. I made him homemade chicken salad. I have this machine that I'm crazy about. It's called a Thermomix. I'm cooking like a beast now. I make sweetbreads. Today I'm gonna make a sweetbread out of zucchini. No, what's it called? That big gourd thing, that squash that's hard to cut up. I don't remember what it's called now. Butternut squash. But I found it in a bag, already cut up. The first time I had to cut that thing up, I thought I would die. But I found it, it starts with butternut squash. I use a special flour that I ordered that's non-GMO. And I use monk fruit instead of sugar. And I don't use canola oil. It calls for it, but I just use not olive oil. What if I found that works? Avocado oil. And it tastes good. It's interesting. Anyway, and I make it all the time, and I make muffins. So I make Dean's lunch every day. I love making his lunch, like he's in kindergarten. And I put his vitamins in his pocket because he won't take it if I don't. And when I met him, he left every day and went to Whataburger and got a Bob, breakfast on a bun and a Coke this big. And I'm like, I'm not going to be his mother, and I'm not going to be the B word that fusses at him all the time. I just give him choices. That wouldn't be my choice, right? And so I'd like for him to stay virile and fit for the rest of our life. And so now he hasn't drank a Coke in probably 5 years, but I modeled it. I should go get it. I have 2 things of sugar. The sugar like you pour in an old timey restaurant. One, it says good sugar, and one, it says bad sugar. One is regular white sugar, and one is monk fruit. And I let him choose. I'm not going to tell him what to do because that's not what he would want me for. I know what he wants me for, right? Love him, build him up, edify him. I'm the helpmate. God made man, and then he made woman to support the man. I'm not a feminist. I'm the opposite. He opens the door for me every time, not because I expect it, but because he likes to do it for me. And every time he does it, I said, that makes me feel so special. I never take it for granted. I'm just, before I hear his truck, I brush my teeth. I quickly go rinse my mouth because I know he's going to kiss me and I want to smell sparkly, minty fresh, little things, right? And so, but in the mornings I shower, whether I really shower or not, but I call them baptismal water. So this is your homework. You're going to get up and you're going to get in that shower and you're going to raise your arms up to heaven and you're going to say your affirmations. I'm going to tell you mine. It doesn't matter what yours are. It's just something affirming. Mine is super simple. I just say, good morning, God. Thank you for the gift of life. Oh, I'm so glad to be alive. And I can promise you right now, Gina's greatest gratitude is that Todd's here and that his brain is working. Okay. And so I thank God every day for this gift of life. I put my arms in the air and it became a funnel. What started victim or victor, bitter or better, all my older years, it became this funnel. And now I visualize opening up my funnel like your arms, like a big V, to drink in God's grace. And I just look up and I say, thank you, God, for this gift of life. I'm too blessed to be stressed. I'm too grateful to be hateful. I'm too anointed to be disappointed. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and better. The rest of my life is the best of my life. Okay? Now I'm in the last quarter of the game, people. Do you think I believe that the rest of my life is the best of my life? Some days I don't. You have aging problems. Okay, I'm just being honest. But I say it even though I don't really believe it. Words have a life. And I believe that when we speak it, it becomes powerful, both good and bad. I believe that our God is omnipresent. He knows my thoughts. I don't really have to speak it. But the enemy can't read my mind. So what I speak, he hears. So don't ever give credit, voice, in my opinion, the name of Jesus is what I'd shout out loud. I wouldn't say the other person's name. Giving him no credit, no recognition, nothing. The battle has been won. And just so you know, I'm an evil sinner. You know, thank God Jesus came for the sinner, not the saint. I'm not the one that's gonna ever preach to you, because those that live in glass houses shouldn't throw the stones. But I love the Lord, and even in our imperfections, you know, he makes us perfect. It's his blood that was shed for us so that we can go to heaven. It's not us, it's pure grace and grit to make the choices that we know we could make. I think the word should is negative. I wouldn't say that word. I think the word I'll try, Mary Kay would never let us say I'll try. Just say I could do it rather than I should do it. You know, I want to do it rather than you know, what are all the other words? Anyway, you know what they are. Don't say them. Just say, I could get on the phone and make a booking instead of I should. Should is negative. Don't should on yourself. And so there you go. There's a little bit. How did we do on time? I think we're good on time. Any questions or comments y'all want to share?
That was awesome, Cindy. That was really great. You speak from the heart, and it's really refreshing to see that. And you're always an inspiration.
So Jenny, what are you going to apply from our little talk today?
I have a bunch of little gifts to take with me to baseball tonight. So I'm going to get those together and extend that olive branch to everybody.
Good. And I told Jenny, the people you see over and over, like at a ball game, those are the same mamas and daddies. It's okay if you just give in the beginning. You don't have to get the booking. You just start opening up their hearts to who you are. And the Mother's Day's coming. I always really paid attention to the holidays. I sold thousands of dollars in gift sales, almost exclusively to men. I never targeted women. They're too complicated. They want to know what's in the basket. How much does it cost? How many times can you use it before you run out or something, for God's sakes? Men just want it pretty and easy. And so, you know, I love the roll-up bag. I would put them together right now. If you don't have products, go ahead and order. So at least you can, however many you want to sell, you know, I can sell 10. That would be, if you sold them for 150, that's $1,500. Pure profit. You just put satin lips, satin hands, satin body, leave the bottom pocket empty so it stays in that price point. Satin lips to kiss, satin hands to hold, satin body to hug. Y'all, I've trained on it for a lot of years, but that is just an easy, put it together in a roll-up bag with some shred. I like white shred. I've tried it all. And I do like putting a big bow around it that you can slip off. The first time I did it, I couldn't open the bag. So that was dumb. So just make a bow, because then it's a gift. I mean, it's just ready to go. If you are a little artsy, you could, or even buy a Mother's Day card. I'm just telling you, put that in the bottom pocket or attach it to the top. The guy just has to sign it. Make it simple, easy for him. And if you don't, give it to your own mother or save it till next year. If you haven't, don't be caught up in the cost. You've got to do some marketing, people. You got to spend, that's why I said, like, order 100 hand creams, not 10. Spend $50 and have them out, and then you can say, I'd love to give you a gift. I have hand creams. I have an unscented, and then I have a scented. It's white tea and citrus. Which do you think you prefer? She may not even want a hand cream, but she wants a white tea and citrus more than she wants a unscented. And then you say, oh, let me let you try it. You open the cap. You never give it to her. She squirts the dang hand. It's crazy. You watch women, what they'll do. You open the cap. You put it on the back of your hand. You smell it. Then you rub it on the back of her hand. She's going to smell it. It's just, it's show and tell. And then you say, you know what? I'd love to get to know you better, to make a new friend and get your opinion of my product. I'm with Mary Kay. Are you familiar with Mary Kay? You are great. You're not great. And then I'm going to book her, you guys. I don't get a name and number very often where I have to follow up, because I'm never going to call her back. I'm too busy. I forget. I'm not a detailed chick. And so all those people that tell you follow up 7 times, well, bless you, because I just never did it. There's 7 billion people on the planet. I'm going to go meet the girl in the green beans if the girl in the Oreos ain't listening to me. And so then I would just say, Jenny, which is better for you, daytime or nighttime, typically? What would you say?
Daytime,
Okay, great. Me too. Morning or afternoon?
afternoon,
Oh, that's perfect for me. The first of the week or the last?
last,
Okay, would Thursday or Friday be better?
Friday.
Okay, Friday. And then I can decide. For years when I was married before, bringing people to my house was not an option. He was a bear about it. And so that I never offered that. I always went to their house. Now, I mean, it's so easy for me to bring somebody here. So you got to base that on, and some of you have a studio or I don't know, whatever. I'm just saying you can decide before, you can lead her to however direction you want. I would say, you know what, Jenny, I've got all my things that's portable. I can come to you. If you'll make the coffee, I'll bring the products. We'll do a quick makeover on Friday afternoon about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, which sounds better.
2.
Okay, perfect. So I said, let me go ahead and text you. I said, here, call yourself. I hate doing it. I don't like pushing in the buttons. I'm not good at it. So I just said, Jenny, call yourself. Her phone rings. So I know I got her number. And then I say, okay, now I put some of you may have a virtual business card. I don't, but on an iPhone, if you put yourself in your phone as a contact, then it always goes to the top. It knows it's you. And then I can just go push that button, hit share contact and send it to Jenny. And then, so she's got all my information in there already. Then I say, okay, Jenny, go ahead and put your information in mine. I make them do all that. Because I don't like to do it. So then, and I said, go ahead and go to your calendar, put Friday, that's going to be the 29th at 2 o'clock. And I'm putting it in mine. I'm booking her, you guys. That's just how I would do it. If she has time, I'm very, have great discernment. I'm aware that she may not have the time or want to do it, then I back away. But if she's with me, I'm going to get it all done. And then I'd say, you know what, Jenny, it's really not that much fun to do a makeover alone. It's a lot more fun to do with a couple of friends, but they have to be as fun as you are. I'm too old to deal with goofy people. So if you've got a few friends as fun as you that are free on Friday at 2, then you can invite them over. I have it all set up. I can do up to 6 people and you get a gift. And if she says, what kind of gift? I said, well, you can't outgive the giver. You bring me some great people, I'll give you the mother load of Mary Kay for free. Got it? And see, I've already got her coached. If it's just me and you, it's okay, but it's a lot more fun. And it's the truth. It's boring to do a facial. Oh my God, rub this on, take that off, rub that on, leave that on. You want some? Oh my God. But friends are interactive, I like a party. Got it? And I would even have my mini facial in a bag with the samples. I can follow her home from the grocery store and give her a facial. She got a mirror in her bathroom. I don't need to carry a kit. I just need a little Ziploc with the, you got all the samples of everything and some CC cream. Everybody looks good in CC cream for a while. I start shining like a penny 2 hours after I put on CC cream because it's way too oily for me. But most people, and you look good for a little while, just long enough to sell it to them. Then if they get shiny, you can trade them out from that wear the next party or sell them a lot of powder. Okay, got it? I know that was a lot. I'm still training, but does that help y'all to see how you role play and bring them into it? Okay, everybody has to say something. So who wants to go next?
Thank you, Cindy. Amazing as always.
So what are you going to apply from our session today?
I have got to get back into affirmation.
Okay.
It just kind of drifted away, but now it's there.
Good.
And
first thing is I want to do my affirmations, not I have to. See, that's a shift in our words. It'll make a big difference in our action. There's another, I kind of couldn't go, but I want to, I will. I'm doing my affirmation today. It can be mine until you shift it. Mine's easy. Blessed, stressed, pointed, disappointed, anointed, and grateful, hateful. Mine's easy, but it can be anybody's. Okay, it doesn't really matter what it is. And y'all, most of you know, You take your toothbrush and you look in the mirror like it's your microphone and you talk to yourself. I said, are you ready for the most exciting night of your life for 365 days? There was no way in God's green earth we were going to be number one, but I said it every day and I saw myself up on that stage, and I'll be damned if it didn't happen. That was like, what? That's such a good example of every day, morning and night. And this is really crazy. I said most exciting night of your life because that's what Mary Kay said all those years. Well, when I was number one the first time, the song was The Greatest Showman. This is the greatest show. So when I got on the stage, do y'all know that after saying it the same for 365 days, I said, are you ready for the greatest night of your life? I didn't say most exciting. And I didn't even realize it till I watched the recording later, because that influenced me that night over whatever. And y'all see the background, that's my Apple TV. And I have Sonos. I'm just telling you, part of how I stay powerful and positive, I never turn on the TV till Dean Piper comes home. He loves the TV. So we turn it on at dinner and watch Shark Tank. It's hilarious. We've seen the same ones. It doesn't matter. It's just, that's what he loves to do. And we like Storage Wars and American history, how they created all the stuff. We watch the same stuff. But anyway, he loves it. But in the day, I turn on Apple TV and I have my, I do Pandora and I have speakers in every room. Sonos speakers are Wi-Fi, and you can put them, little ones, big ones, all over your house. And it took me years because they're a little pricey, but that's what I asked for Christmas. I want another speaker. So now literally I have 3 in here, but I have a speaker in every room in my house. And I like Pandora dinner. It's called Dinner Party because it plays, those are and then today I play country. Sometimes I play Hillsong. This just depends on my mood. Sometimes I'll play Sam Cooke, like 60s jazz kind of stuff, but that's part of my energy. Is my environment is very happy. I turn that on every morning and I play my music every day, and I will not allow myself to turn on what I like to turn on the TV. Now, what I will do is when I'm cooking dinner, I'll put on a movie that I can watch in the background while I'm in there cooking. That's a happy movie. Like I love Green Book. It's all the happy songs, or I like Fried Green Tomatoes, and there's just, I got them saved. You know, mostly I just watch the old movies, but those are some of my Cindy Williams tips on how to stay positive in a negative world. The world is crazy if you want it to be. Like that song, God is good. God is great, beer is good, and people are crazy. I agree with all 3 of those things, by the way. Okay, Christina Hilton, we go way back. What did you hear today?
Love hearing from you, Cindy. I am going to get back to my affirmations too, and I am going to promote the miracle set for the body. I know I've heard you say that before, but I need something right now in my business, and I love that. So
Give them a little bit of a deal. Most people aren't going to spend $22 for a bar of soap and $30-something for a bottle of lotion.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can probably find, there's a picture by Chatney Gelfius that shows one arm she did it, one arm she didn't.
Yeah.
Those before and afters are really, really good. You're going to need some tools. So find that photo to show people so they can see a difference. Before and afters, we used to carry, I had myself with no makeup. If you go to my Cindy Williams Facebook page, it's a public page.
Mhm.
So cute. I did a picture of me with, where is it? With my hair curly yesterday, because I
Yeah, I
have
saw it.
really crazy curly hair. Then I did a picture of my hair straight, the before and after. And then some smart people, they knew how to put it side by side. I was like, I don't know how to do that.
I don't
But
think I
that's
knew
a
your hair
good,
was that
I mean, talk
curly.
about a good commercial for hair, right? So if you do your face without any makeup on, not smiling, and then your face all dolled up, people, it's kind of like saying, somebody says, I don't wear deodorant. You're like, I know. Okay. But you can do that with your customers with their permission. I used to have a keychain. I just took the, like the school size photos, those little square ones.
Yeah.
And on one side was the girl with no makeup, and one side was the girl. And I just put them in laminated, stuck a hole, and made it my keychain. And I could show people examples of my work in the grocery store. I had it on the keychain because I wasn't going to ever carry that before and after notebook around, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
I don't care how you do it, but connecting with more people, the affirmations, and actually this small group, I really wish all of you would commit to some kind of goal, maybe retail sales goal. And then you don't even have to tell Gina, because You want to always over deliver and under promise. Don't tell her something and then not do it. Just tell yourself, to thine own self be true, and go do it. Do it for Gina week, people, because you couldn't have a better leader, somebody that's given you her heart and soul her whole life. And Mother's Day's coming. That's an easy sell.
Yeah.
If you don't have enough product to put, you may not like what I put in the roller bag. I just think everybody likes those products. It's easy to sell, but put together at least 10 men need some help for Mother's Day, right? And that would be good sales for you and help you finish up for your star. I never did tons of reorders from that, by the way. I mean, I put the gift certificate in it, but the women usually didn't call me back. It was just a gift, just FYI. It's just a gift. It wasn't a business builder. I'm just going to be honest. And I didn't call the women back. I didn't call them. I never really. The only time I called customers is if I needed money. And back then we would staple the sales ticket to the profile card, and I could look in my box, and the big fat ones were the ones that bought the most. I just pull up the fat people. Why then I would call her and say, hey, Christina, I'm making deliveries on Friday. Just wanted to see what you needed. What she didn't know is I was leaving for the beach on Saturday and I needed $1,000. So I would dial for dollars and I would tell her, Christina, I'm never going to call you when you buy that whole skincare set. Never. If I call you, you expect ticker take the first 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 weeks, I would follow up to make sure and try to give you a checkup facial to make sure you're loving everything. Then I'd say, always have 2 cleansers, not just one. Don't run out and call that. I'm no midnight emergency. So I always over delivered and under promised rather than say, I'm going to call you every 2 weeks. Well, you're probably not going to call that girl. Don't tell her that. Then surprise her with your love. But I did write a thank you note every time I made a sale for 40 years, every single time. Every time I would say, dear Kimberly, thank you for buying mascara for me. Because of you, my son goes to a private Christian school. I care, you count, love, Cindy. I hit him in the heart. So they stayed loyal to me. Yes. Oh, there's your babies. Oh, that's so smart. Don't you love doing that? And don't your customers love it? Good job, Christina. Okay, Angie, I know so we've lost some of our tribe. I'm still talking. You want to share and then we'll say goodbye?
Sure. I was on the same thought process of Christina. I was looking at a way to do the miracle step for the body. And I have talked to Gina about so many different affirmations that I'm working on. She's like, you have to write them down. So I will write them down and be back in the shower repeating to myself.
Good. I think Gina's the one that put hers on a sleeve protector and stuck it so she could see it in the shower. I mean, you guys have had great examples of leadership and being overcomer. Gina's been through so much, the Todd family and, like even when in her Caring Bridge, how she's just, praising Jesus for everything. What a soldier. I always say, we're not saviors, we're soldiers. There's only one savior, but you have such a great example. So y'all go and have a really strong, powerful week of affirmations, of selling, of booking, having the courage to connect with someone. Old team members like Kimberly recruited Kim. No, Kim recruited. Anyway, later she reversed it, got her back in, and she just wanted to be needed. Right. So you need that red jacket. Okay, I'll do it for you. Those are the kind of people you want. Team players, you want them on the team. Deal?
Yeah.
All right. God bless you. Thank you for being such good team players for Gina. She deserves it. And it's the greatest gift you can give yourself. You deserve it too. And y'all can like me or follow me on my fun Facebook page. I've been doing more things. I didn't do anything forever because I was like, boy, you following me too. But now I got a little bored. And see my Jackie, there's my recruiter 41 years ago. And now she lives next door and she's getting married. Y'all know that she fell in love.
No.
This is the best thing in the world. We're having her engagement party this Friday. It's going to be like a wedding, but they haven't known each other long enough to get married. She just met him on January, New Year's Eve, actually.
Oh, wow.
And so but we're having a big engagement party and he lives in Minnesota. So she's leaving and going to Minnesota for the summer and he's going to come down here for the winters. Isn't that like perfect?
Wow. Wow.
I know, Minnesota, Brackman, Minnesota. Where's Minnesota? But anyway, God is good all the time, right? All the
All
time.
the
God is
time, God is good.
So Jenny, thank you for being our master of ceremonies and helping us with technology, and send it to Gina. She'll like that so that she
My
knows who's
pleasure.
on. I wrote everybody's name down too. And then you guys just hit her with victories. Got it? I sold a miracle set. I sold 2 Mother's Day roll-up bags. She'll be like, that's what would give her, you know, she's a director. Y'all know that. When you're successful, she's going to be so happy. That's your victories back to her. Deal?
Deal.
Thank
right.
you, Cindy.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Bye, y'all.
Cindy.
Bye.
Bye.